What if I told you the hardest part about getting promoted isn't earning the promotion? It's everything that happens afterwards. Nobody warned me that some friendships would change. Nobody warned me that I would stop being judged by how hard I worked and start being judged by every decision that I made. Nobody told me that leadership could feel lonelier before it ever felt rewarding. I wish someone else had sat me down before I became a supervisor and told me what was really coming. So today, I'm going to be that person for you.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Today is going to be a super fast episode. We are just going to get into it, get into the nitty gritty, and you're going to learn 8 things. And we're going to talk about 8 things that nobody tells women before their first promotion. Not messing around today. So, yeah, I think you're going to like this. Not messing around today. So, you're going to like this episode. But also, if you know another woman who's going for a promotion, make sure send her this episode, get this in her hands because it's so good. And then the other thing is there's some badass guests. Like last week, amazing, or the last 2 weeks were pretty amazing, but next week got something else good for coming for you. So yeah, I want to get this in the right women's hands. Speaking of which, we also have a community, and it is for women who are in predominantly male industries and really heavily leadership focused. You don't have to be in a leadership role, but if you have some interest in going into it later, this would be your jam. This would be where you come. But we can talk about the struggles of working in a predominantly male industry, talking about leadership and how to build a community where you work, and then also talk about how to get a promotion. So if you're interested in any of those things, head on over to Instagram and DM me community. You can DM me at ordinary to badass. And I look forward to hearing from you. And let's get to it. I wish before I became a supervisor that someone had sat me down and had talked to me, told me what to expect. That would have been nice. Because getting a promotion wasn't necessarily what I expected. Not harder, just different. So here are 8 things that nobody tells women before they go for a promotion. Number one, this is so crucial. Nobody has it all figured out. And honestly, I thought supervisors knew everything that they were doing. It's kind of like being an adult, right? When you were a kid, you probably thought that your parents had it all figured out. Truth is, nobody does, right? But the same is true for supervisors. Just because they got promoted doesn't mean they figured it out. They were just willing to take a step forward. So, yeah, I thought supervisors knew exactly what they were doing, and then I became one. Turns out everyone's making decisions with incomplete information. So the difference isn't knowing everything, it's just feeling comfortable enough to make the call anyway. And, early on in my career, I was so indecisive. I was so worried about making mistakes. Every time I did make a mistake, I would be in my head about it and I would replay it over and over and over. And now I realize, yeah, we're all going to make mistakes. Anytime you're new at something or you lack experience at something, you're going to make mistakes. But it's like that's the time where you have to like put on your lab coat and become or use an experimenter mindset because that's all it is. Make the best decision with the information you have at the time and then just keep on going. And if you fail, if you make a mistake, drop the ball, whatever it is, okay, cool. You just get back up and you try again. You pivot slightly. Anytime that I've ever made a mistake, guess what? I don't make that mistake again, usually not, because it sticks in my head. I remember the time I made the mistake before, so then I'll do things differently. But too many of us are taking things too personally. We're thinking we're a failure if we make a mistake. No, that's life. Understand, just because you're a supervisor doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. Doesn't mean that you're not going to make mistakes. Matter of fact, if you were perfect, the people you supervise probably wouldn't like you. It's like being perfect is boring. Being perfect gets old. Then they're not going to feel like they were comfortable making mistakes. Actually, next week when you hear from Kim Porter, you're going to hear how she recommends people make mistakes, or she hires people that are willing to make mistakes and admit to it, because then all the people they supervise, they feel comfortable making mistakes too. So it's like, no, making a mistake isn't the goal, but it's being able to quickly admit to it and then adjust and fix the problem. Number two is that promotions change your relationships. Once you get promoted, people just won't treat you the same. Some of your friends will probably become distant. Some of the coworkers stop telling you things. And some people will suddenly become very careful around you. And you didn't change overnight, but your role did. And I remember thinking that I was going crazy once I got promoted because I'm like, what the heck? Why are so many people not talking to me or being weird around me? And I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, well, I must be the common denominator, but I really could not figure it out. And then turns out the reasons why they were upset with me was nothing that I could control. It was out of my control completely. And I even had one of the guys say to me, like, I just don't want to be bossed around by my friend. So once you become a supervisor, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I just don't want a friend to boss me around. Okay, I get it. Makes sense. And that changed our friendship, right? Because I was in a promoted position. The thing is, though, at least he was cool enough to tell me, because a lot of people just won't tell you. They'll just stop talking to you. And so it's like that's when I realized, okay, this is what it's about. I just thought in my mind, there's no way people are going to stop talking to you just because you get promoted. And then here's the other thing. I did an Instagram post about this. I stopped eating lunch with my squad. And so if you're friends or your former coworkers, that can be hard that you can no longer eat lunch with them. And yes, technically you can, but it's like there is something to just letting your squad, your crew have lunch to themselves. I mean, put yourself in their position. Do you want to eat lunch every day with your supervisor? And it just gives them time to vent, to laugh, to not have to censor themselves while you're in the room. So that's why I do it. It's like once in a blue moon, yeah, I'll go eat lunch with them. But do I do it every day? Nope, because I want them to have their own time to just kind of decompress. But that's another one of those things that changes once you're promoted. Number three, what got you promoted won't keep you promoted. This one surprised me because you know what? Being the hardest worker, that's going to get you noticed. But once you're promoted, you're no longer judged based on how much work you do. You're judged by the decisions you make. The hardest transition to make is to do less yourself and help everyone else succeed. So if you're doing all the work, you can't possibly help all the people around you succeed. You can't help all the people you supervise succeed because you have your hand in so many different pots, right? Your hand is in so many different places, helping other people or making sure other people have, if they need to come to you for feedback, you have to write evaluations. You probably have to go to more meetings than you had to go to before. You have a whole lot of other responsibilities. And so if you're doing all the work yourself, you're just not going to have enough time. And your job is to help them thrive. It's not for you to thrive. Like, yeah, that's ideal, but you really want to make sure that all the people you're supervising, that they're thriving, that they're motivated. Number four, being liked becomes less important than being trusted. Most of us want everyone to like us. I know I did. And then I realized, you know what? If people like you, but they don't trust your judgment, you have a popularity problem, not a leadership advantage. Trust lasts longer than approval. And you know what? You need trust to get people to buy in, to the mission that you're selling, because you do have to sell the company mission. You do have to move the needle forward to get to the next level and to get them to take action. But they have to trust you to do that. If they're going to come to you and tell you problems, like we talked about earlier, you want people to feel comfortable coming to you and telling you problems or mistakes that they've made. If they're going to do that, they for sure have to trust you. So it's like, okay, we can not be friends, but you need to trust me that you can come to me. You can need to trust me that I will let you make your own decisions, that I will let you make mistakes, that I will help you when you're drowning, right? But you need trust. That is critical. Okay. Number five, the people that cheered for you yesterday may distance themselves tomorrow. And this is a hard pill to swallow because you'll have some people that will absolutely celebrate your promotion, and then other people that will quietly pull away. And it's not because you did anything wrong. And just to realize promotions change the dynamics with your coworkers. Don't chase relationships that require you to shrink. It can be so hard, especially when you're really close to somebody. And I've experienced this, several people that I was very close to, and then they pulled away. But you know what? If I was to try to chase them and be friends with them still, then that would require me to shrink. So that is not worth it. And it's like, I can't control how everybody else feels. All I can control is myself, and I have to focus on that. And again, it's uncomfortable, it's weird. You wish you had your friendship back because there was no big blow up. And you know what? Here's the thing. It's like when relationships end, just relationships in general, that can be with, a significant other, a friendship, a coworker, when they come to an end, we want an answer. That's human nature, right? Where it's like the loop isn't closed. Nobody got to tell us the back end or tell us the reason why. And so when we don't have something that feels like a legitimate reason, then it's hard for us to move on because it feels like, wait, I should have an answer to this. They should talk to me. And you know what? I remember going to somebody and I said, hey, what's up? We've always been pretty cool, but it seems like you've been distant towards me. What's going on? Nothing. Nothing. So our friendship completely ended. Would not tell me what had happened. And I can guarantee you it's because I got promoted, but it was like overnight ended. No explanation. And it's like, in my mind, okay, yeah, if a friendship is going to end, at least have the decency to tell me why or tell me what I did, right? But people don't want to. And so you just have to learn to accept that. But that can come with a promotion. So it's something to be aware of. And if people are dropping like flies and it's after you got a promotion and you're working in a predominantly male industry, realize likely it's not you. It comes with the role, it changes the dynamics. Okay, number six, and I'm just going to say this one is a pet peeve of mine. Not every woman will support you. I wish this wasn't true because some of the greatest support that I've ever gotten has come from incredible women. But some of the toughest criticism has too. Women tend to be harder on each other. And you know what? Women aren't all the same. So support the women who celebrate your growth. Be friends with the women who celebrate your growth. Surround yourself by those type of women. And don't let the others determine your worth. It's like haters gonna hate, right? Just fine, let them be and move on. And Dina Johnson Lee, when she was on the podcast, she was saying, yeah, she should have been friends with this one woman, but it was almost like because they were the only two women in the agency, they were competition. And then there's this other dynamic. It's, yeah, you get promoted or you get hired, and oh, and then there's this other dynamic. They had to go through the hard times, they had to deal with being razzed, so you should have to too. Well, it sucks. It's stupid, but it is a thing and it does happen. And quite a long time ago we had Catherine Switzer on the podcast. She was the first woman to run the Boston Marathon. Her story was so awesome. If you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen. But she was running the Boston Marathon and a guy judge tried to pull her off the course. And then she said she was able to finish the race, but she said afterwards women were the hardest on her. So It is something that happens. It's to be expected, but it's like, keep going. Don't let that derail you. Verse 7, you can't control everyone else's opinion. The higher you move, the more opinions that people have. Some people will think you promoted too soon. Others will think you don't deserve it. Some won't like your decisions. They might even be more hard on you. Well, they probably will be more hard on you just because you're a woman. Your job isn't to manage everybody else's opinion. Your job is to lead. And you're going to get pushback. It's going to be hard. And it might take time to build trust. It will take time to build trust. That's any supervisor, though. But there's a lot to learn, and you just have to dig in. And here's what I wish I knew sooner. You just have to dig in. And I have found that people-centered leadership has taken me so far, and I advocate for the people that I supervise. I've always done that. And so you build good relationships, good communication skills with the people you supervise, good communication skills with the people that supervise you, then you're going to go a long way. And it really does help. But in a sense, you do have to have thick skin because not everybody's going to like you. People are going to talk smack about you. So it's like, okay, just keep on moving forward. Don't let that, I already said this, but don't let that derail you. And I don't even remember who said the quote, but other people's opinion of you is none of your business. So sometimes you have to remind yourself that, like, their opinion, not my business. I'm just going to keep on going. Number 8. This one's kind of hard to even say out loud. Leadership gets lonelier before it gets easier. I remember hearing someone say, if you're promoted, eat lunch somewhere else. And at first, I hated that advice, but I understood it. I talked to you about it earlier, how I don't eat lunch with my squad. But you don't have to become cold. You don't have to stop caring. But people you supervise, they do need their space. It's just kind of respecting their space. And leadership changes boundaries that you used to have or not have. They put new ones in place. Sometimes the loneliest season becomes the one where you grow the most. It's not you. If it gets lonely, it does not mean that it's you. It's like, yeah, people are going to test you. People are going to question you. People are going to separate from you just because you changed positions, because you're now in a promoted position or a leadership role. And that comes with the territory. That comes with the territory, whether you're a man or woman. I just feel like it's a steeper hill to climb when you're a female in a predominantly male industry. So don't let that get in your head. Find a community, find a group of people. Like I said, I have a community. You can head on over to Instagram and DM me community if you want to get in. Dina Johnson Lee, who is on the podcast, she has a community. A lot of these women that I'm having on the show, they have a community which can help you get through this stuff. So if something resonates, make sure you get in a group of people so that you have somebody to bounce these ideas off of. You have somebody to talk to know that you're not going crazy, or you don't have to feel lonely. Maybe you feel lonely at work, but then having other women who are going through the same thing or have been through the same thing, that helps you realize, like, oh yeah, I can do this. Oh, it's not just me. Cool. So, if you're waiting for your first promotion, or maybe you just stepped into leadership, I hope that this saves you a little bit of heartache, because none of these things mean that you're failing. They mean you're growing. And you know what? In the last couple episodes and the next episode, I'm diving deep into these lessons. We're going deep on these conversations because they're so important and it's stuff that people just aren't talking about. We also, like, we need to hear about the women's experience. And if you're in a predominantly male industry, you probably haven't heard about it. You're not hearing things that need to be talked about, be talked about. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, until next time, keep showing up, keep speaking up, and never ever shrink for a seat at the table, because you, my friend, were born to build it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass, and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.